Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. My name is Jesse Jessica Kauraifa and I'll be your host for today, updating you on the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. Now for the latest on the hit list. On the hit list, we start off. Next weekend is going to be a big weekend in terms of marathon, and that's the Navahap Gold Mine Marathon that will be taking place. Beto Karumendu has to say this for the latest time.
It's a great honor as a race director since the race have started in 2014. And today is the 11th edition. Whoa, I don't know why. I'm a proud man to say it. To my Directorate of Sport, as we are having our National Development Plan Vision 2030, in terms of sport, what did sport contribute towards the vision? In terms of the Navahap Half Marathon, we are moving towards the vision. Why I'm saying this, we are moving towards the vision because we are looking for a race to become one of the professional race in Namibia for our elite athletes, as well as also for social and economical development in terms of job creation, in terms of putting food on the table. This is why Navahap is moving towards that one. Once again, let me thank Navahap Gold Mine. We injected again 340,000 sponsorship for cash prize money for the race. That will be in detail in due course. That prize money will go for winning for the 10K and the winning prize money for the 21Ks. That's why I said we are looking to a professional elite athlete with a 20K winner for the half marathon, both men and women. It's something that you can put on the table for that person who needs it. And for job creation, in terms of our NDP 6, job creation and social economical growth, we are already contributing towards that one. Just to say a word of you, in June, we went to have a benchmark in one of our races, sister races in South Africa, the Nelson Mandela Bay Half Marathon. We went there. Thanks again, Navahap have injected our expenses to that in order to look what is it that we can do to improve our races. When you want the races, your elite athletes to come to your country, let me take an example of a football player. The season of the South African Football League has just started. How many players are playing there? I see the like of Donny Hoto, Rian Humamup, and the other one who are playing in Amazulu and all those players. This is something that they are getting on the table of social economic for elite and professional athletes. But when it comes to Namibia in our road races, where are we? Where are we going to? And I think Navahap, we are in the right direction. According to the benchmark we went in South Africa, in terms of the race logistic organization of the race, the planning is there. But our plan for the next 4 to 5 years is to get elite athletes here in Namibia. Number one, we need to apply for a bronze label to World Athletics, and then we need to increase our prize money in order to have our elite athletes from South Africa, from Kenya, from Ethiopia, and so to run in with our locals. If we don't have those athletes, our athletes are not going to be competitive for their times in the marathon to come. Forget about that. But if we have those athletes here in Namibia locally, the time of those athletes will come. But it will only going to done once our races have been accredited to a bronze level, local bronze level road race. And we need to inject money. And I think this is the vision Navahap is looking towards that vision. The next 4 or 5 years, we will put our house in order. After 3, 4, 5 years, obviously the prize money will be increased in order to attract. Because the agents are talking about when they call me, Mr. BK, your price raise, what are you paying? No, I'm paying 5,000. It's too little. You understand what I mean? They cannot send their athletes, elite athletes, to a race that are paying a 5 or 3 or 1,000. You understand what I mean? So that's why our prize money has been increased up to now, 20,000 for the winner of the half marathon, men and women. And we are looking to a right direction as I'm speaking. And these things have been made possible by the support of the main sponsor, which is KKR Namibia Gold, Navahab Gold Mine. And I very acknowledge and appreciate the other partner sponsors as well. And also, last not last, the Director of Sport for sponsoring the transport for the athletes to come. And as I'm speaking, the link is out. The link is out at our respective regions. And this time we have a talk of Navahab. There is no way that you are coming from Katima Mulilo with an empty buses and you did not register and assist those athletes. That's why our launch is today. We have enough time for our athletes to register. So you can make your arrangement of your bus to fill up the bus to carry them.
Are you curious as to what is driving the cars world? Well, we are bringing you into the world of cars. Tech, trends, road trips, and the stories behind the wheels. It's fun, it's fast, and it's full of surprises. This is your ultimate cars companion. You can catch My.NA Cars every Thursday at 9 p.m. with me, your favorite passenger princess, Diana Master, because it's not just about the ride, it's about the journey.
From here, if you want to take a lucky bet in terms of how lucky you want to get, it's always Brian Munango that will give you that in terms of guidance, in terms of how do you bet and stuff like that. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, I'll give you the latest highlights that we had for the week, and from me, it's goodbye.
So, viewers, I'm not with Javon Wilson today. He will not be joining us for this segment. So I will be guiding you guys through the weekend's games, and then maybe you can make yourself some money. I know it's not English Premier League, nor is it the German Bundesliga, nor is it Serie A, but the World Cup qualifiers tend to be very interesting sometimes with these international games, and they can be quite easy to predict. So if we have a look at some of the games that are scheduled to take place on Friday, tonight. These are some games that I look forward to very interestingly. Starting off, we have Slovenia taking on Sweden. All of the games kick off at 9:15. Slovenia taking on Sweden. Switzerland play Kosovo. Greece take on Belarus. Iceland take on Azerbaijan. Moldova play Israel. Israel have been doing really well so far. Montenegro take on Czech Republic, and then Denmark take on Scotland. So those are just some of the games that we will be having for today. Now, to go through my bet slip, I'm very confident in this one. I might make a few changes to this bet slip, but it will be coming up on the screen shortly. And then we can maybe break it down together, and you guys can tell me what you think in the comments, and then maybe you can make yourself some money. So I'm going big. It's either you go big or you go home. So I'm starting off the bet slip with 300 Namibian dollars for 7.55 odds. The win comes in at 2,267 Namibian dollars. So you see the code at the bottom. Copy the code. 03272787. Copy that code, and then hopefully you can make yourself some cash. You can play around with the games. One of the games that stand out for me has to be the Zimbabwe against Benin. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock, and the odds for Zimbabwe to win this game comes in at 4.2. Now, as a man of numbers, as a man who likes to compare numbers, I think the bookies have got this one wrong, because Zimbabwe have a couple of Premier League players, they have a couple of players that play in Europe, and Benin is not really up there. So 420 is a bargain. If I had $1,000, I would definitely put down that $1,000 on Zimbabwe solely and trust them to win. I mean, have Munetsi, who plays for Wolves, so hopefully we can make some money there. But to go through the rest of the games, South Africa takes on Lesotho, so I'm expecting South Africa to come out victorious in that match. South Africa's international team is really not that great. The football team is not as great as the rugby team, but I expect them to push through and beat Lesotho. Egypt take on Ethiopia. Nothing to be stressed about there, because I'm sure Egypt will come out on top with the likes of Omar Mamouche and Mohamed Salah. Ivory Coast there on also, I'm rooting for them to win that game against Burundi. Ivory Coast won the AFCON, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trusting them to come out on top there. And then one of the games that you can play around with has to be Morocco versus Niger. That one is also going to be very interesting. We have the likes of Achraf Hakimi, who plays for Morocco. So that game is going to be very interesting. But that's my bet slip for the weekend, viewers. Copy the games, put yours together. If you don't like it, you can mix and match, and hopefully we make ourselves some money for the weekend. Looking forward to seeing how the games go. We are still rooting for Namibia to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. This would be the first time that Namibia does qualify. That's if they do qualify, but things are not looking too bad at the moment. Yes, and those are your betting tips for the weekend. But for now, let's get back to the food.
Standby highlights. 10 nodig.
Okay. Hierso dan Windhoek Gimnasium in hierdie bronsfinaal van die 2025 Maison Superliga bronsfinaal. Vincent Scholes wat daar so die afskop, die lynstaan gewen het vir Windhoek Gimnasium. Eerste lynstaan dryf en in die hoekie is hulle op die doellyn. En dan 'n geel kaart wat daar gewys was aan Johan Brits, die stit van Tsumeb Gimnasium. Windhoek Gimnasium het daar so 'n tikskoppie gevat en vir die voorryman Gert Pretorius gegee wat sy eerste 3 van die wedstryd gedruk het. Die eerste 3 vir sy span. Tsumeb Gimnasium dan met die geel kaart vir Johan Brits en JD Jankovic se eerste skop wat 'n bietjie skeef getrek het. Dit was Charles Salje wat 'n kans gekry het met sy eerste strafskop paal toe vir Tsumeb. Kompak Tsumeb Gimnasium en hy voeg 3 punte by in sy 50ste wedstryd vir die eerste span. Het hy die 5 span op die veld gelei. Charles Salje punte vir hom hier so op die Haki Geingob stadion. Windhoek Gimnasium wat stelselmatig hulle stempel afgedruk het. Die flank Fourie Steyn wat daar plat getrek is, kry sy aangeweg na JD Jankovic toe. En daar's genoeg van 'n gaping vir hom daar om af te rond vir Windhoek Gimnasium se tweede 3. Hy is ook natuurlik hulle nommer 1 skopper al die hele seisoen. Goed geskop vandag, hele klompie later van die kant en af deur die palle gestuur. En hierso Oliver Seeger, nommer 14 wat die bal kry van die tweede fase af en genoeg krag en momentum het vir sy 3 om te draf palle toe. Sterk regtervleuel daar van Windhoek Gimnasium. Die doellyn oorsteek. Tsumeb wat in geen stadium moet opgegee het die heeltyd aanhou veg het en hulle voorspelers gebruik het. En die nommer 8 en kaptein Russell Bartlett wat hy die eerste van sy 3 gedruk het in hierdie wedstryd. Hy het ook sy kant gebring in hierdie wedstryd vir Tsumeb deurentyd. Hierso JD Jankovic wat die bal bring in die agterlyn af en Pieter Stefan Stassen daar in spasie draf om palle toe. 'n mooi skoot daar van ons hommeltuig Pieter Stefan Stassen met sy 3 vir Windhoek Gimnasium. Hier was dit 'n lynstaan gewen deur Gimnasium. Ja, dis net die kyk weer van daai 3 van Pieter Stefan Stassen. En dit was dan die 3 wat Tsumeb Windhoek Gimnasium se telling gevat het na 26 toe. Skop was tussen die palle deur daar van JD Jankovic. Charles Silje wat hier so die verdediging aanvat, plat getrek deur Vincent Scholes. En met optel en dryf is dit Russell Bartlett wat weer 'n 3 druk vir Tsumeb Gimnasium, hulle agste man en kaptein. Charles Silje kans kry pale toe en voeg hy 2 punte by om vir Tsumeb Gimnasium so 'n bietjie nader te bring. Ingestorm hier so deur Jan Daniel de Villiers, hy het hom al vasgeloop teen die verdediging. Jan Daniel de Villiers, na Boelem Olofsen, na JD Mentjies, JD Jankovic, en hier so Oliver Seeger, wat op dreef kom, trap binne toe, en skud die verdedigers af, en gaan druk sy tweede 3 van die wedstryd. Tweede 3 van die eerste helfte, en die doelskop wat nie daar was van JD Jankovic nie, daar sien ons dan teen rustyd, was dit 31-17, waarmee Windhoek Gimnasium teen Tsumeb voorgeloop het. In die tweede helfte, sommer dadelik in die tweede helfte hierdie beplande beweging, Vincent Scholes wat daar gee vir Oliver Seeger wat reguit maak en deur die lyn breek en sy spoed ook bietjie wys. Hy het nog vir Pieter Stefan Stassen langsom gehad, maar hy het hom nie nodig gehad, die self die 3 gaan druk. JD Jankovic met die 2 punte ekstra geslaag vir Windhoek Gimnasium. En Tsumeb wat hier so vir Jurik van den Berg die stit gereeld gebruik het om die bal op te vat en die verdediging aan te vat. En daai ene was dan nie toegeken nie, maar met tye, verlangtye wat se Tsumeb wat daar op die doellyn geboer het van Windhoek Gimnasium, totdat die kaptein en agste man uiteindelik weer daar oorgeduik het. Hulle dan Tsumeb wat dan hier so op die aanval gebly het, totdat Russell Bartlett weer 'n 3 gedruk het vir Tsumeb Gimnasium. Netjies 'n skop tussen die pale deur Charles Silje. En hier so 'n lynstaan dryf deur Windhoek Gimnasium. Was dit die 3 gewees vir Boelem Olofsen. Boelem Olofsen wat daar die swak plekke in die verdediging gaan opsoek. En 'n netjiese doelskop van die kantlyn af, akkuraat tussen die pale deurgestuur deur die senter JD Jankovic. Windhoek Gimnasium wat die tempo hoog gehou het. Boelem Olofsen wat hier so reguit maak en ruk hom los en vind ondersteuning van Leon Hon vir die afskop raak, hy aangee raak van Boelem Olofsen af en hy gaan druk sy 3. Hierso was dan die laaste 3 van die dag, amper gelyk soos 'n aanslaan daarso. Tsumeb se voorspelers wat daar oor die doellyn is, nie heeltemal seker is of dit weer Russell Bartlett was wat sy 4-3 gedruk het, of dit miskien iemand anders was nie. Doelskop wat hierdie keer mis was. En hierso Evan Dreyer wat opgekom het as 'n skramskakel plaasvervanger na van die geel kaarte. Ja, sy man wat JD de Villiers, Jan Daniel de Villiers wat 'n geel kaart uitgedien en daar was dit ons die 3 gesien van Alonso de Tooy, die nommer 23 vir Tsumeb, vir Windhoek Gimnasium althans. En dan hierso was Christian Kriel se 3 uit die oogpunt van ons hommeltuig. Daar 'n laat 3 gaan druk in die tweede helfte vir Tsumeb. Tsumeb wat dan eindig met 34 punte teenoor die 57 van Windhoek Gimnasium in hierdie bronsfinaal van die onder 19 MyZone Superliga vir 2025. As hy in die NSSU se onder 12 finaal vir 2025 van MyZone en Office Economics is dit dan Windhoek Gimnasium wat bo aan die puntelys geëindig het en gespeel het in die finaal teen Parkies. Hierso was dit dan die kaptein en nommer 13 van Parkies, Ryland Kloete, wat sy eerste 3 in die wedstryd gaan druk het, sommer so vroegerig na so 13 minute wat dan verstreke was en sy doelskop die was dan ook tussen die pale deur gewees. Dit was toe met Alton se Windhoek Gimnasium wat dan teruggekom het en aangeval het en dit was dan uiteindelik die 3 wat gedruk is deur Declan Renton wat daai 3 gedruk het en dit was dan 7-7 Gimnasium van Windhoek Gimnasium was so net na rustyd gewees. Hierdie stit van Windhoek Gimnasium, Heino Haman wat met 'n lang loopie gekom het. Hierdie 3 is uiteindelik nie toegeken nie. Die skeieregter wat daar gekonfereer het met 'n vlagman en om een of ander rede het hulle toe hierdie rede 3 nie toegeken nie. Windhoek Gimnasium wat dan die voortou geneem het later met hierdie 3 wat hulle senter Jan Roekotse gaan druk het. Dit het dan die telling 14-7 gemaak in die guns van Windhoek Gimnasium. Ryland Kloete, hy is die kaptein met die wit skrampet, die buitesenter van Parkies, sonder 12's. Parkies wat hier so weer op die aanval was in die tweede helfte. En dan volgende geleentheid vir Parkies gewees, hierdie vlugvoetige buitesenter wat dan sy sentermaat Luke Evan Lou deurgestuur het. Hy is daar net kort van die doellyn plat getrek en Ryland Kloete wat die bal daar agter die loskram opgetel het en hy het dan daar so sy tweede 3 van die wedstryd gedruk om die sake dan gelyk of doelskop was mis. So van 'n tikskopie af weer Ryland Kloete op die aanval en net kort van die doellyn as hy daar gekeer.
I think what must be clear is this was a meeting, what we call the Chairman's Forum of the Namibia Premier League clubs, Namibia Premier Football League clubs, the 16 clubs. And all the chairpersons and representatives of each of the clubs, 2 per club, came to this Chairman's Forum. And the meeting, Chairman's Forum, didn't take place in quite a while. And it was really a meeting that produced good outcomes. The spirit and the discipline and the conduct of the chairpersons in the meeting was really cordial and respectful, and the matters that they have discussed were very serious matters concerning the Namibia Premier Football League and football in general. Remember, this is the top tier league of the country. And this is the league that attracts a lot of media attention and also the attention of our business community sponsors. So this meeting was necessary, and this meeting created a lot of interactions and engagement. This meeting have accommodated 3 new entrants that were promoted from the nationwide first division into the top tier league. But these newcomers are no strangers to the top tier league because they've been there before, probably under the previous NPL, and they were relegated and they have been out of the top tier league for a while and they came back. So they understand the fire in the top tier league. They understand the cost implications in the top tier league. They understand what it takes to remain there. If you are promoted from the nationwide first division, what you as club owner or the executive committee of the club or the supporters of the club and the community where the team is hailing from, what it takes to make sure that the team remains in there. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult. And I say this from experience. I've been the chairperson of Black Africa, a very successful team. Unfortunately, I don't want to talk about where it is today, but this is really what it means to be in the top tier league. So